When you finally decide to stop living by default and begin shaping life by design, you awaken an ancient power that most people ignore for a lifetime. This isn't about setting goals for the sake of appearance. It's about igniting a fire so intense within you that the outside world has no choice but to adjust to your frequency. The world doesn't yield to mere wishes, it bends for those who make unwavering decisions. When your mind sharpens into a blade of purpose, everything that's irrelevant becomes invisible. Distractions dissolve. Weak excuses lose their grip. And suddenly the right people, circumstances, and resources start to appear, not because you're lucky, but because you've activated the law of certainty. Every limitation you've ever accepted took root in the soil of your thoughts. You weren't born doubting your greatness. Somewhere along the line, you inherited fear, second-guessing, and hesitation. But doubt is not a wall, it's a mirror. It shows you the edge of your comfort, daring you to break through. Stand before it. Don't flinch. See it for what it is, an invitation to grow. Because behind every fear is a version of you that already knows how to rise. Remember, there is no progress without pressure. Diamonds are born from struggle. Muscles grow through tension. Wisdom is carved from failure. So if life feels heavy, you're likely on the right path. Pressure isn't punishment. It's proof of potential. Stop interpreting resistance as rejection. It's guidance. It's confirmation that you're stepping into territory most people fear to explore. Don't announce your plans, prove them. Let your silence scream louder than your words. While others are waiting for motivation, you show up with discipline. You train when tired. You focus when overwhelmed. You persist when no one's clapping. This is how you earn power in a world full of pretenders. This is how the world bends, not for talkers, but for doers who keep showing up long after the mood is gone. You do it not because it feels good, but because it must be done. Because vision without execution is hallucination, and greatness never bows to excuses. You sculpt reality with relentless action, with the kind of intensity that silences doubt and fuels certainty. This is not about hype, it's about truth. It's about facing the storm, bleeding through resistance, and rising anyway. The world yields to those who stop waiting to be chosen and choose themselves instead. When you begin to understand that your thoughts are the architects of your destiny, everything changes. Not just your mindset, but your results. Most people think success is an external conquest. But the true battle is internal. You don't win in the world until you win in your own mind. The greatest empires of history, the most profound inventions, and the most unimaginable turnarounds each began as a whisper in someone's mind. A spark of belief, nurtured until it became an unstoppable force. Your life, right now, is a reflection of the strength or weakness of your inner narrative. You can't afford to speak doubt to yourself anymore. You can't keep letting fear write your story. Every time you say, "I can't," the world believes you. Every time you say, "It's too late," opportunity walks away. Change your words, and you change your world. Train your thoughts like a warrior sharpens a blade. Constantly, precisely, relentlessly. Every complaint weakens you. Every excuse delays your purpose. But every declaration of belief builds momentum. Say to yourself, "I am not a victim. I am not average. I am not done." Those words alone hold more power than any external motivation. They are the script your subconscious obeys without question. Make them count. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more individuals who have silenced their doubts and activated their vision. Let the vision burn so fiercely within you that it blinds your excuses. This is not about arrogance. This is about alignment. Align your inner dialogue with your highest calling. Demand more from your spirit. Because when the world feels your certainty, it steps aside. It yields. It bends. Your thoughts are not just reflections, they are instructions. Instructions that shape your behaviors, mold your decisions, and carve the path you walk. If you feed your mind with defeat, your actions will shrink. But if you flood it with conviction, your presence becomes undeniable. So choose your thoughts like a sculptor chooses his tools. Refuse anything that doesn't build you. Embrace only what refines, sharpens, and elevates. Because when your inner world is fortified, no outer resistance can break you. You were not born to tiptoe through life, apologizing for your power. You were born to create, to overcome, to break limitations that others fear to confront. But here's the secret most never learn. The moment you begin honoring your vision over your fear, everything shifts. The masses wait for perfect conditions. They wait until the fear disappears, until doubt is gone, until others validate their path. But the few, those who rise, they move while afraid. They act while uncertain. They build before the applause. That's the rare trait separating dreamers from doers. Your mind will scream for comfort. It will craft clever lies to keep you small. You're not ready. It's too risky. Maybe later. But you must become a voice louder than the fear. Speak courage into the void. Speak certainty into the unknown. Every step taken in faith rewires your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries. You begin seeing yourself as someone who executes, who endures, who finishes. That transformation is what bends reality in your favor. The world doesn't owe you ease. It owes you nothing. But when you meet hardship with hunger, when you turn resistance into refinement, then you earn something greater than comfort. You earn power. Power over your emotions. Power over procrastination. Power over your narrative. And this power, it compounds. With every courageous act, your threshold for fear shrinks. The obstacle becomes the way. The storm becomes the sharpening. You start to crave the hard things, not because you enjoy pain, but because you see what it produces. Comfort never made kings. Ease never built empires. The struggle is sacred. Inside it lives your untapped strength. Inside it, you meet the version of yourself capable of things the old you never imagined. So don't run from pressure. Walk straight into it with the fire of someone who refuses to be denied. Burn your excuses. Sharpen your focus. And show this world what happens when an unbreakable mind meets an immovable goal. You don't need more motivation. You need more motion. The clarity you seek, the confidence you crave, the fire you want to feel again, it all lives on the other side of action. Not perfect action, not massive action, just deliberate, repeated movement in the direction of your vision. Too many people sit still, paralyzed by the need to get it all right the first time. But mastery doesn't come from standing still. It comes from movement, trial, error, correction, and relentless commitment to improvement. You learn faster by doing than you ever will by doubting. Every single day is a new vote for the kind of person you're becoming. And if you want to change your identity, you don't need to wait for inspiration. You simply act like the person you intend to be, over and over again. Eventually, the mind catches up. Eventually, the world responds. The difference between the few who rise and the many who fade is not talent. It's tenacity. It's consistency. It's the ability to show up when nothing is exciting, when no one is clapping, when progress feels invisible, but you show up anyway. Because that moment when quitting whispers in your ear and comfort calls your name, that moment is the forge. That's when legacies are built. Not during the highs, not during the wins, but in the silence of unseen effort. You don't get stronger by avoiding the weight. You grow by lifting it daily. Not once, not occasionally, but as a lifestyle. Discipline isn't punishment, it's the purest form of self-respect. It's how you tell the world, I'm not here to be average. I'm here to become undeniable. Your future is not something you find. It's something you forge through daily action, through unshakable decisions, through bold moves made without guarantees. So stop waiting for permission. Stop searching for certainty. Start walking like you've already earned it. Start creating like failure isn't an option. Because once you decide that you will not be denied, the universe begins to rearrange itself to make room for your rise. There will come a point when you realize no one is coming to save you. That's the moment you wake up not in despair, but in power. Because once you accept that it's on you, you stop waiting and start building. That shift is where everything begins to change. You can't keep outsourcing your destiny to luck, timing, or other people's opinions. Those who win long-term take radical ownership. They don't blame. They don't point fingers. They say, if it's going to happen, it starts with me. You may not control every circumstance, but you always control your response. And your response becomes your reality. It molds your mindset, sculpts your habits, and dictates your results. No one is stopping you except the story you keep telling yourself. So, rewrite the script. Stop identifying as someone who's trying and start embodying someone who executes. The world respects action. Respect yourself enough to take it. Some people wait their whole lives for a breakthrough. Others create one by refusing to stop. The only thing between you and the next level is the decision to keep going when it would be easier to quit. Yes, you'll have setbacks. Yes, you'll have days where everything feels like it's collapsing. But don't confuse hard with impossible. Don't confuse tired with finished. If you're still breathing, you're still building. Every scar is proof that you didn't fold. You are the sculptor and the stone, the fire and the forge. Everything you need is already within you, but it's waiting for activation through action, through focus, through relentless pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. So ask yourself, are you showing up as a warrior or a worrier? Are you waiting for things to happen or are you making them happen? Because at the end of the day, the life you live will echo the standards you enforce. There's a force inside you that has been dormant for too long. Not because it's weak, but because it's been waiting for your permission, waiting for you to get tired of your own excuses, tired of shrinking to make others comfortable, tired of watching life pass by while your potential rots in silence. You don't need more evidence that you're capable. You need more intolerance for mediocrity. You need to get angry with your limitations, not to live in rage, but to wake up your resolve. Because comfort is not just a state, it's a trap. And many are dying slowly inside it. The enemy is not fear, it's stagnation. It's the slow decay of ambition disguised as realism. It's the soft voice inside that says, just survive when you were born to thrive. So rise. Rise with the defiance of someone who refuses to waste one more second living beneath their calling. Demand more from your time, from your talents, from your standards. Every moment you settle, you teach the world how to treat you. Stop negotiating with your excuses. You are the gatekeeper of your greatness. What you allow will continue. What you challenge will evolve. And if you want a new life, you must demand a new you. This is not about ego. This is about stewardship, about honoring the gifts you've been given by maximizing them fully. Playing small does not serve the world. Playing bold does. So show up loud, clear, and unapologetic with your flaws, your fire, your faith. Because once you stop hiding, the right doors begin to open. Once you stop waiting, momentum finds you. Once you become unshakable, everything aligns behind your force of will. And understand this, your voice, your presence, your mission, they matter. The world doesn't need another echo. It needs your truth, spoken boldly. Stop editing yourself to fit in rooms you've outgrown. If you feel out of place, it might be because you're meant to build your own. You weren't born to be invisible. You weren't designed for average. You carry a vision that scares small minds. That's your proof. That tension you feel, it's the pressure of greatness asking to be unleashed. Start walking like someone who knows where they're going. Start building like someone who refuses to die with regret. Time is ruthless to those who hesitate, but it rewards the ones who act with urgency and purpose. So move with fire, speak with certainty, Show the world the full weight of your determination. Because the moment you show up as if you cannot be stopped, everything around you starts to believe it too. Most people spend their lives chasing validation, not transformation. They want applause without the effort, titles without the discipline, and comfort without confrontation. But mastery doesn't come to those who seek approval. It comes to those who seek truth even when it's uncomfortable. You don't grow by staying safe. You grow by stretching into the unknown, by doing the things that make your heart race and your mind doubt until they don't. Every level you desire requires a new version of you, forged through discomfort and defined by persistence. There is no shortcut to excellence. There is only showing up when it's inconvenient, only pushing forward when it's easier to turn back. Greatness is not a moment, it's a pattern, a rhythm, a decision you make daily, not just when you feel like it. So fall in love with the process. Romance the discipline. Because if you only move when motivated, you'll always remain inconsistent. But if you move from principle, you become unstoppable. Consistency is the alchemy that turns invisible effort into visible power. You must become your own source of ignition. External praise will fade. But internal fire, that sustains. You don't need more validation, you need more repetitions. More hours alone. More days no one claps, yet you show up anyway. That's what builds an unshakable foundation. When your identity shifts from a seeker of results to a servant of purpose, everything changes. The work becomes the reward. And ironically, that's when the results start chasing you. Because the universe responds to those who embody their mission with clarity and courage. So recalibrate your aim. Don't strive to be seen. Strive to be undeniable. When your standard is so high that mediocrity can't breathe in your presence, you won't need to convince anyone of your worth. Your life will speak so loudly, the world will have no choice but to listen. Every time you resist the urge to quit, you send a signal to your mind, I am not here to play small. I am here to master this. Let your consistency carve out new neural pathways, new habits, new beliefs. The grind may feel invisible today, but the results will be undeniable tomorrow. Because in a world obsessed with instant success, the rarest currency is discipline. Earn it. Protect it. Let it shape the person you're becoming, not just the life you desire. There's a reason so few people live extraordinary lives. It's not because they lack talent, but because they lack resilience. The road to greatness isn't paved with praise. It's littered with rejection, self-doubt, and moments where quitting feels easier than continuing. But here's the truth. The obstacle is the path. When everything in you wants to retreat, that's the moment that defines you. Most will fold. You won't. Because your identity isn't built on outcomes, it's built on commitment. You don't need certainty. You need courage. The courage to speak before your voice is steady, to act before you're ready, to show up when no one is watching and no one is clapping. This is where transformation begins, not in applause, but in silence. Your job is not to control every outcome. Your job is to control your input. To become so consistent, so reliable, so committed, that success becomes inevitable. You do not rise to the level of your dreams, you fall to the level of your systems. So, build systems that never skip the fundamentals. Repeat your principles until they become second nature. In a world of distractions, obsession is your ally. Let others be entertained, you're being shaped. While they scroll, you study. While they sleep, you build. While they doubt, you execute. Because someday, those who ignored you will ask how you did it. And your only answer will be, I stayed when it was boring. I built when it was lonely. I believed when it was hard. That's how I became unshakable. And when the time comes and your results speak louder than any excuse ever could, people will call you lucky. But you'll know the truth. You didn't stumble into success, you engineered it. You built it brick by brick in the dark, when it was just you and your vision. Every ignored message, every early morning, every no that you turned into fuel, it all mattered. It all counted. You were stacking invisible wins that eventually became undeniable. This isn't about motivation. It's about identity. Are you the kind of person who finishes what they start? Who doesn't flinch in the face of resistance? Who honors their future self with every action today? If so, keep going. Because those who endure what others escape will inherit what others only dream about. The world doesn't reward intentions. It rewards execution. No matter how brilliant your ideas are, if they stay trapped in your mind, they die there. Dreams are fragile until they're backed by action. Vision means nothing without velocity. You must become a person of completion, someone who starts and finishes, who commits even when the mood fades, who understands that consistency is more powerful than bursts of inspiration. Every day you delay, the window narrows. The cost of inaction compounds just like effort does. But while effort builds bridges, hesitation builds regret. You don't need perfect conditions, you need unshakable decisions. Most people wait for the spark. You must become the spark. Motivation is fleeting, but discipline is immortal. It does the work when no one is watching. It gets up when comfort whispers, "Stay down." It carries you through the fog of doubt and into the light of progress. Don't just consume information, apply it. Don't just dream deliver. Stop waiting for permission. You are the author, the architect, and the answer. The time you think you have is disappearing, and the longer you hesitate, the louder regret becomes. You were not born to blend in. You were born to build. But nothing changes until you act. The version of you you admire will not arrive by accident. It must be built with courage, consistency, and the conviction to keep moving, even when no one sees the progress but you. There will never be a perfect moment. You make the moment perfect by acting in it. Action in the midst of doubt. Progress in the face of fear. Movement when every part of you wants to stay still. That's where your future is forged. So stop trying to feel ready. Start training yourself to act despite uncertainty. This is your edge. This is what separates dreamers from doers. Every single result you desire is hiding behind a moment you're afraid to face. So run toward it. You don't need more advice. You need more reps, more late nights, more early mornings, more imperfect action. Because progress doesn't happen in theory, it happens in the arena. And the arena rewards those who dare to move before they believe they're fully prepared. Progress is never a straight line. It's a climb through confusion, setbacks, and days when everything feels heavy. But the weight isn't a signal to stop, it's proof you're building strength. No one becomes powerful without resistance. No one becomes wise without uncertainty. The people you admire didn't avoid struggle. They walked straight into it and came out forged, not broken. They failed forward. They used doubt as a doorway. They didn't run from fear, they used it as fuel. You must make peace with the discomfort of growth. Real change demands more than effort, it demands identity shift. You're not just doing new things. You're becoming someone new, and that version of you doesn't emerge without friction. Let every challenge be your sculptor. Every delay your teacher. Every moment of confusion an invitation to dig deeper. You don't rise by removing pain, you rise by responding to it. And how you respond will shape everything. Keep going not because it's easy, but because it matters. Because the path you're walking isn't just about results. It's about becoming. Every hard day is carving something eternal into your character. And when you look back, you won't remember how tired you were. You'll remember that you kept going anyway. Success is not reserved for the most gifted. It belongs to the most relentless, to those who show up when they don't feel like it, who trust the process even when the outcome seems distant, who refuse to let emotions dictate their discipline. You won't always feel inspired. That's okay. Show up anyway. Take one more step. Make one more decision in alignment with who you're becoming. Because one day, all these small acts of persistence will converge into something undeniable. The world won't see the thousands of silent sacrifices, but you will. You'll know what it costs to transform. You'll know how many moments you could have quit but didn't, and that quiet, pride-earned, not gifted will echo louder than any applause ever could. So don't look for the exit. Look for the lesson. Don't seek escape. Seek evolution. Because the pain you're facing today might just be the pressure that turns you into something unshakable tomorrow. There comes a moment when you must decide. Will you be remembered as someone who almost changed, or as someone who transformed completely? Will you live your days circling the same doubts, or will you rise and rewrite your story? The future doesn't arrive, it is summoned. It answers only to the bold, the ones who dare to act without a guarantee, who stake their lives on growth rather than comfort. You are not stuck. You are scared. And that's a signal, not a sentence. Fear is the compass. Move in the direction that intimidates you, because that's where your next level lives. You won't always feel brave, but courage isn't the absence of fear, it's choosing movement despite it. You don't need to be confident to begin. Confidence is what you earn when you refuse to give up, refuse to settle, refuse to shrink, refuse to hand your power to doubt. This life will not wait, and there are no reruns. Every moment you delay is a moment you never get back. So stand up, speak up, show up, not for applause, not for approval, but because you finally remembered who you are and what you were meant to become. Every step you take from this moment forward must be done with intention. No more drifting, no more defaulting to old patterns. This is your declaration, a refusal to repeat, a decision to transcend. Let this be the chapter where everything shifted not because the world changed, but because you did. Because you decided that excuses had taken enough from you. That hesitation had robbed you long enough. Greatness isn't waiting at the finish line. It's found in every single choice that defies your comfort zone. It's built in the moments no one sees, when you rise early, when you stay late, when you keep your word to yourself even when it hurts. You are not who you were. You are who you decide to become today. Let the world adjust to your transformation, not the other way around. And when doubt returns, don't explain your vision. Embody it. Don't argue with limitations. Outgrow them. Let your life be the loudest proof that reinvention is possible, and that it starts the moment you stop waiting and start becoming. The time has come to eliminate the illusion that growth is accidental. It's not. It is intentional, structured, and brutal. It asks you to surrender the convenient version of yourself and step into the fire of reinvention. You can't carry your comfort and your calling at the same time. One must go. If you want to rise, you must be willing to leave behind what once protected you, the excuses, the stories, the familiar identity. They kept you safe, but they also kept you small. Do not seek a lighter load. Build a stronger back. Do not pray for ease. Develop endurance. The power you want is born in the fire you fear. The strength you admire in others is forged through commitment without applause. Be ruthless with your excuses. They are thieves in disguise. They dress up as logic but rob you of transformation. You owe it to yourself to silence them with action. Show up when it's inconvenient. Speak up when it's uncomfortable. Move forward when it's uncertain. These moments define your destiny more than any goal ever could. What you tolerate becomes your standard, and what you accept silently shapes your future. If you keep negotiating with your old self, you'll never access the version of you that's waiting on the other side of discipline. Now is the time to interrupt the pattern. Tear up the script. Step away from the path that circles the same pain in different disguises. Life isn't asking for your perfection, it's demanding your evolution. You already know what to do. You've known it for years. The problem isn't knowledge, it's execution. You don't need more time. You need to stop wasting it. Start before you feel ready. Start messy. Start scared. Just start. Because every day you delay, you teach yourself that fear deserves obedience. And that lie will calcify into identity if left unchecked. Decide now. Break the cycle. Become the person who follows through, the one who acts even when the feeling fades. Who chooses the future over the familiar? This is your moment of no return. Make it count. Every time you ignore the voice urging you to rise, you reinforce the version of you that settles. Every delay is a quiet decision to remain the same. But there's something inside you that can no longer pretend. It's the part that aches for more, not just more success or comfort, but more aliveness, more integrity, more truth. And that truth is this: you were not designed to coast. The friction you feel isn't a flaw. It's feedback. It's life pulling you toward the edge where growth begins. You can't evolve in environments built to keep you comfortable. You need disruption. You need resistance. You need pressure. Not to break you, but to shape you. Stop fantasizing about a better life while defending the habits that sabotage it. Real change demands confrontation first, with your choices, then with your patterns, and ultimately with your identity. Don't ask for transformation if you're unwilling to be unrecognizable, because that's what growth requires, letting go of who you've been to become who you were meant to be. This isn't a motivational high. This is a sacred disruption, a call to destroy the scaffolding of excuses you've built around your potential. Burn the blueprint of who you were told to be and draft your own. You are not chasing a dream, you're remembering one. The dream your soul whispered before the world screamed over it. It still lives in you, but it won't wait forever. Dreams decay and delay. Act like it matters because it does. Lead like you mean it. Work like you believe it. Show up like you're on fire. Because the world doesn't need another passive participant, it needs a force of will that refuses to retreat. Let your actions tell a story the past can't compete with. One of grit. One of resilience. One where you didn't just wish you worked. You didn't just dream, you dared. And in daring, you became. You've spent too long negotiating with your potential, trading what could be for what's familiar. But there's no breakthrough in comfort. No transformation in repetition. Every version of you that stayed the same did so at the expense of the one that could have been unstoppable. This is not a season to tweak. It's a season to tear down and rebuild. Start over if you must, but do it without apology. Do it with urgency. Do it with the fury of someone who finally remembers who they are. And stop apologizing for your ambition. Shrinking doesn't serve anyone. You weren't built to dim your fire just because it makes others squint. Let them adjust. You are not the disruption, they are the dormant ones. No more playing nice with your purpose. No more pretending your dreams are negotiable. You are here to take up space, to make noise, to leave evidence that you existed boldly. Let your life scream of intention. Let your actions scream louder than your doubts. Speak through effort. Command through consistency. Show the world what it looks like when a person stops waiting for permission and starts giving themselves direction. If you're misunderstood, so be it. If you're judged, let it fuel you. If you're alone, let it strengthen you. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to rise above, to shake foundations, to become proof that the impossible bends for those who refuse to bow. This is your revolution. Not a rebellion of noise, but of results. A quiet, relentless storm of action. Let others talk. Let others dream. You execute. Build a life so aligned, so powerful that mediocrity feels like a foreign language. Refuse to go unnoticed. Refuse to be average. Refuse to live one more day as anything less than undeniable. Most people aren't failing because they lack talent. They're failing because they lack hunger. They've been lulled into complacency by convenience, trapped in a life that doesn't demand more of them, so they never demand more of themselves. But hunger is the edge. It's what separates those who dabble from those who dominate. It's not about being the smartest. It's about being the most relentless. The one who doesn't quit when it gets boring, when it gets tough, when it stops feeling magical. You will never outperform your standards. And if your standards are built on feelings, you're building your future on sand. Discipline isn't supposed to feel good. It's supposed to make you powerful. Show up tired. Show up uninspired. But never stop showing up. This is the truth no one wants to hear. Life is rigged in favor of those who don't wait to be ready, who act before they feel like it, who grind even when no one's watching. That's how legacies are born in silence, not spotlight. You don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for. And what you tolerate becomes your reality. So raise your baseline. Stop negotiating with mediocrity. Start demanding excellence from yourself in every moment, especially the ones that don't count in public. Push when no one's clapping. Persist when everyone else has stopped. That's how champions are built, not by inspiration, but by insistence. Insisting that you won't fold. Insisting that you matter enough to try again. This isn't about hype. This is about heat. The internal fire that doesn't wait to be lit, it burns whether the world cares or not. That's the difference. That's the standard. And that's the level that rewrites futures. Refuse to live on autopilot. Wake up with defiance. Operate with precision. And every time you're tempted to retreat, remember, every empire was once a decision away from never existing. There comes a moment where you either step up or shut up. Where talk is cheap and comfort is expensive. You've hyped your potential long enough now. It's time to meet it in the field, with sweat, with effort, with execution. No more fantasies of what could be. This is the war for what will be. And you don't win that war by waiting for motivation. You win it by deciding that your goals are non-negotiable, that your progress isn't up for debate, that your greatness doesn't need approval. Every excuse you entertain is a brick in the wall that keeps you from your future. Tear them down. All of them. Excuses are fluent, but success speaks in action, in silence, in resilience, in doing it anyway. This is your turning point, the line between who you were and who you refuse to die without becoming. So move, not tomorrow, now, because nothing changes until you do. You weren't designed to coast. You were designed to climb through pain, through fear, through failure. Stop mourning the difficulty. Start mastering it. Every challenge is a gym for your will. Every setback is a seminar in resilience. So rewrite the story. You're not the victim. You're the variable. The one who bends fate with consistency. The one who stops looking for the perfect plan and starts becoming the unstoppable person. This isn't about feeling powerful. It's about becoming powerful. One decision, one action, one relentless step at a time. While others hesitate, you advance. While others seek guarantees, you embody grit. Your future isn't found, it's forged. Built in the dark, hammered by habits, cemented by courage. And when it's done, let the world wonder how you did it. Let them call it luck. Let them call it talent. You'll know the truth. You outworked your old self every damn day. Most people aren't living, they're sleepwalking, numb to their own potential, drowning in distractions, living small because they fear standing tall. But life doesn't reward the safe. It rewards the bold, the decisive, the ones who bet on themselves when no one else will. You don't need more time. You need more intensity, more urgency. You need to stop flirting with your goals and commit like your future depends on it, because it does. Every minute wasted in indecision is a minute stolen from your legacy. Stop auditioning for a life you already own the rights to. You don't need permission to rise. You need action, ferocity, ownership. Your dreams aren't dying, they're being delayed by your comfort. Trade it in. Choose discomfort. Choose growth. Choose now. because nothing changes until you do, and no one can do it for you. The only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is relentless movement. Not motivation, not inspiration, just movement. One unglamorous, disciplined action after another, day in, day out. That's the path. That's the price. And if you're not willing to pay it, you're not ready for the reward. Harsh? Maybe. But reality doesn't care about feelings, it cares about patterns. And your patterns are either paving your path or sabotaging it. So today, make it different. Not by dreaming, but by doing. Not by planning, but by pushing. Let the world watch. Let them doubt. And then let your results speak the loudest. Because one day, they won't ask what you dreamed of. They'll ask how you did it. And your answer won't be magic. It'll be, I showed up when I didn't want to. I did the work no one saw. And I refused to let comfort be my cage. If your habits aren't building your future, they're burying it. Every small choice is a vote either for your potential or your procrastination. And while most settle for distraction, for comfort, for easy, you didn't come this far to end there. You're not here to be average. You're here to be undeniable. To become a force so disciplined that even chaos bows before your consistency. People will call it obsession. They'll say you're too intense, but intensity is what changes lives. It's what rewrites stories. It's what breaks cycles and builds legacies. You don't need the world's applause. You need your own approval, the kind earned in silence, forged in repetition, built in discomfort. That's where real confidence is born. And here's the truth. Life is going to test you, over and over. Not to break you, but to reveal you, to show you what's soft, what's strong, what's ready, what still needs work. Lean into it. Welcome the pressure. Because diamonds aren't found, they're formed. The grind, the pain, the setbacks, they aren't distractions. They are the curriculum. They are the very material you must master to rise. The lesson isn't in avoiding adversity. It's in enduring it without losing your fire. So while others complain, you train. While they scroll, you build. While they delay, you deliver. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. You didn't ask for an easy life. You asked for a life that means something. And that kind of life demands sacrifice, discipline, and courage. Show up for it. Show up for yourself. Because the person you're becoming is watching, and they're counting on you not to quit. You've got a decision to make. Remain comfortable or become powerful. You can't have both. Power is purchased with discomfort, with grit, with the guts to choose what's right over what's easy day after day, without applause. The path to greatness is boring. It's repetitive. It's silent. It's waking up early when no one cares. It's staying focused when no one's watching. That's where your edge is sharpened. Everyone wants results, but few want repetition. They want the reward without the routine. That's why most don't make it. But you're not most. You're built for the long haul. You're forged in friction. While others burn out in the first mile, you're just getting warm. Because you understand success isn't something you chase. It's something you construct, brick by brick, action by action. And if today feels hard, good. That means you're in the arena. That means you're in motion. That means you're earning it. Keep going. The world doesn't need more dreamers. It needs more finishers. Finish what you started, even when the fire fades, even when the motivation dies. Because what separates the elite from the average is not talent, it's follow-through. It's showing up on the 100th day with the same intensity as the first. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It only asks, did you show up? Did you execute? Did you move the needle? Stop measuring your life by comfort and start measuring it by growth. Comfort is a slow death. Growth is uncomfortable, but it's also the only place where transformation lives. So pick up your tools. Build the life you said you wanted. No more excuses. No more waiting. Just action. Ferocious, unwavering action. Because when it's all said and done, your legacy won't be built on your intentions. It will be built on what you did when it was hard. You say you want the next level, but are you really ready for what that demands? Because the next level doesn't just require new strategies. It requires a new identity. A version of you that doesn't flinch when it gets hard, that doesn't negotiate with laziness, that doesn't crumble at the first sign of discomfort. Everyone wants to rise until they see what rising requires. It means cutting dead weight. It means waking up early when your body begs for sleep. It means saying no to things that feel good now but sabotage you later. And you won't be clapped for. Not at first. In fact, they'll question you. They'll misunderstand you. They'll laugh behind your back. Let them. That's the price of elevation. Elevation is lonely at the start. That's why most don't finish. They choose company over commitment. But you've tasted mediocrity, and you're done with it. You've outgrown excuses. You've buried the version of yourself that needed permission. You don't chase approval anymore. You chase growth. You chase grit. You chase the life that few have because you're willing to do what few will. Every decision is a mirror. It reflects the future you're building or the one you're betraying. Choose wisely. Because one day, you'll look back at this version of you, the one who kept showing up, who kept building in silence, and you'll thank them. They were the warrior in the dark, laying bricks for a future most couldn't even see. So keep going. This isn't a phase. This is a becoming. And becoming always hurts before it shines. Most people want results but flee from resistance. But resistance is the birthplace of power. It's where leaders are forged. It's where clarity is born. If it's stretching you, it's shaping you. Don't pray for it to be easier. Pray for the strength to get stronger. This isn't punishment. It's preparation. So next time you feel the weight, remember, this is what transformation feels like in real time. You're not breaking. You're building. Now stand tall. One more step. One more rep. One more day of proving that the old you is gone and this new you, unstoppable. You're almost there. And this is where most people quit. Not because they're weak, but because they don't realize how close they are. The breakthrough doesn't feel like a breakthrough when you're in it. It feels like pressure, like fatigue, like everything's falling apart. But that's the test. Can you keep pushing when nothing around you tells you it's working? Can you believe in the seed before it breaks the ground? Success is always invisible at first. It brews underground. It simmers in silence. You won't see the growth immediately. But those hours, those reps, those sacrifices, they compound. Quietly, powerfully. Don't expect the world to celebrate you now. That celebration is reserved for the finisher, not the dreamer. You've dreamt long enough. Now it's about closing. About doing the hard things every day without applause. You've suffered. Good. Let it mean something. Let it count. Turn that pain into precision. Turn that fatigue into focus. Look at what you've endured. You didn't come this far to crawl to the finish line. You came to sprint through it with fire in your lungs and steel in your spine. The finish line isn't a place. It's a mindset. It's knowing that no matter how tired you are, you've got one more step in you. And then another, and another. Because this isn't about hype. This is about habits. It's about showing up like a pro, even when you feel like a ghost. It's about being relentless in your pursuit, not perfect, but persistent. So straighten your back, lock your eyes forward, and remind yourself, pressure isn't a sign to stop. It's a signal to rise. Legends are born in the final mile. This is yours. You are not here to visit greatness. You are here to claim it. You've burned bridges to your old self, and there's no turning back. Every scar you carry is proof that you refuse to quit. that you were willing to be broken, rebuilt, and reborn. So push, with every breath, with every ounce of willpower you've got left. Don't think, just move. Don't doubt, just deliver. You're the storm. You're the standard. You're the one rewriting the story. Now finish what you started. Not because you have to, but because you said you would.